Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up to the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
Shall I summon the Clampetts to the door, madam?
No, no, Frederick. We're not going inside. I just want to take a close look at the entrance to see where my name will look best.
Your name, madam?
Yes. In a short while, this lovely edifice will no longer house those dreadful hillbillies. It will be the Margaret Drysdale Art Center.
Congratulations, madam. I hadn't heard the Clampetts were moving.
And neither have they. Nor has my husband. So your silence is essential.
Oh, I understand, madam.
This is my most inspired plan. With one master stroke, I shall rid the neighborhood of these squatters and leave a lasting monument to art and culture. Isn't it brilliant, darling?
I beg your pardon, madam?
I was speaking to Claude. Shh. You don't want to attract that hound dog bully. Whisper to Mother. It's the bully. Quickly, Fredericks, before Claude gets one of his migraines. Vicious, bloodthirsty cur.
Well, I thought I heard something out here. Howdy, Miss Drysdale. Glad you could drop by. Come on in, set a spell. You too, young fella.
Oh, really, no, I can't right now. I was planning to come back later and discuss some business with you.
All right, maybe that would be better. Granny just put some victuals on the stove. We can talk over a plate of groundhog stew.
Groundhog stew?
Plenty of pot liquor and pone to sop it up with.
On second thought, let's talk now, out here in the fresh air. I'm on a diet.
Oh, I'm sorry I tempted you. Well, what's on your mind?
Mr. Clampett, this huge mansion must be a lot of work to maintain, what with no servants.
Yeah, it does kind of keep us hopping, especially Granny. With her, everything has got to be scrub board clean.
There's a way to let the city take over the drudgery of cleaning. And at the same time, you can make a lasting contribution to the happiness and culture of the people of Beverly Hills.
Well, that sounds like a good day's work. How'd I do it?
Donate your home as an art gallery.
An art gallery?
Yes. We could open the doors to the public and let the people from everywhere stroll through room after room of paintings and sculpture.
Take an awful lot of paintings and sculpture to fill all them rooms, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes. But I'm counting on such art lovers as Edward G. Robinson, Vincent Price, Donald Murray, and others to donate works of art. And, of course, you, Mr. Clampett, have the wherewithal to fill several rooms yourself.
Well, you can count on us. We'll do our best. Gonna fill a whole house, huh?
Yes, with the exception of the pantries, the kitchen.
You say the city is gonna take over the cleaning and all?
Once your home is a municipal art center, the people of Beverly Hills are responsible for its maintenance.
And that'll make them happy.
Finally, ecstatically happy.
Well, I'll talk to Granny and the young'uns and let you know. According to Miss Drysdale, turning this house into an art gallery is gonna pleasure a heap of people and save you women folks a heap of housework. Now, what do you think?
And you say that we still have the kitchen and the pantries?
Yep. I figure me and Jethro will sleep out yonder, and you, Helly, can bed down out in the butler's pantry. If we need more room, we'll put up the cabin.
Can I keep my critters?
Yeah, I reckon so, if you keep them outside.
And the city'll do the cleaning for us.
That's what Miss Drysdale said, the people of Beverly Hills.
It would do my heart good to see them highfalutin society folks down on their hands and knees with a scrub brush. Let's do it.
All right with you, Ellie?
Sure, be kind of nice to have visitors for a change.
I was hoping you'd feel that way. You might just get acquainted with some young fellas.
Go put on a dress, Ellie.
Oh, wait, I pretty near forgot. Miss Drysdale is counting on us to do some of the painting and sculpting.
Us?
Enough to fill several rooms, the way she put it.
Jed, we don't know nothing about that.
Well, lots of folks is going to pitch in, and I promise we do our best.
Well, I can do mud sculpting.
Hey, here comes the boy with the school, and I bet you he can learn us.
Learn you what, Uncle Jed?
About painting and sculpting.
Oh, heck yeah. I studied all about art in the 5th grade.
Tell us something.
Well, first you got to know who the great artist is. Like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt, Dick Van Dyke, Blue Boy. Then there was some famous woman artists, too, like Mona Lisa and Whistler's mother.
Anybody who says education ain't worth the money ought to listen to this boy.
Thank you.
Tell us more, boy.
Well, Chief, what did the doctor say? How do you feel?
I feel like $1 million, tax-free.
Well, obviously, the new doctor's report was good.
Good? It was fantastic. He says I'm a perfect physical specimen. Oh, I should never have listened to that old quack I've been going to. Him and his expensive prescriptions. I could start my own pharmacy.
Tell me about this new doctor.
Brilliant young man, brilliant. And he doesn't charge those wild fees either. My kind of doctor.
Well, this is wonderful. I've never seen you so vigorous and dynamic.
I'm a tiger. Get out my golf clubs. I'm gonna knock off a fast 18 holes before lunch.
Perhaps this would be a good time to ask for a raise?
You bet it would. Ask away.
May I have a raise?
No. See? I told you I was a tiger.
Claude, dear, the success of our project depends on getting Daddy out of town for a while. So don't be upset if you hear Mother tell a little white lie.
I'll go and reserve a caddy for you.
No. I'm going to carry my own club.
Here's our Daddykins.
Good morning, Miss Hathaway. Drysdale, Claude.
Mother, I'm in kind of a hurry. I am going to the club and shoot a few rounds.
Milburn, darling, you mustn't lift anything heavy. Not in your condition.
What do you mean, my condition? I've just come from seeing a new doctor, and you know what he told me?
Don't say it, dear. I'm sure it's nothing serious. All you need is rest. You don't have to tell me. I can see it in your poor, tired face. Complete exhaustion.
He said I looked good.
He was seeing you for the first time. I was shocked when I came in here just now. Shocked. Weren't you, Claude?
He thinks I look bad, too, eh?
Dogs are sensitive to these things.
No, I am a little weak. I feel a little queasy.
Milburn, you threw away your medicine.
Well, that new doctor said I didn't need any. The young quack, no wonder he was so cheap.
All you need is a long rest. You've been driving yourself too hard.
You know how it is. Whole load's on me. I'm under terrific pressure.
But your health comes first. A week in Palm Springs, and you'll be as good as new.
Gee, I don't know if I can stand the trip.
That's right, 18 holes. Well, he says he won't need a caddy. He's feeling like a tiger today.
Now, probably the greatest artist to come along was this fella Michelangelo.
What'd he do?
What did he do? Well, he just laid on his back and painted a bunch of masterpieces on the ceiling. That's what he done.
What a ceiling, huh?
Must have had awful long arms.
Could be tied his paintbrush onto a broomstick.
Well, let's let the boy with the education tell us how he done it. How do you do it, boy?
I don't know.
Tell us some more about this Michelangelo.
Uncle Jed, he was a world beater. When this rascal got tired of painting pictures, he'd just get himself a big rock and sculpt himself a statue.
Oh, he done some sculpting too, huh?
Oh, he was a crackerjack sculptor. There's this place called Rome. They say you can't hardly sail a pie pan in that town without it'll bang into one of his statues.
Jed, if we can get some of that Michelangelo stuff, it would sure save us a heap of work. Miss Drysdale wouldn't have to know but what we done it ourselves.
Just don't seem honest.
Granny, this Michelangelo was a genius. Why, he done his work 400 years ago, and to this day, ain't nobody beat him.
You see, Granny, it wouldn't be right to palm off no 400-year-old statues for new.
Well, I'm gonna mix me up a bunch of clay and go to mud sculpting.
Mud sculpting? If this is gonna be a first-class art gallery, we got to have rock statues.
Well, why don't you make that your job?
Hot dog. I'm gonna find me a rock and chisel me out a masterpiece.
Well, Granny, reckon that leaves the painting up to us.
Most I ever done was paint daisies on the churn.
Got me beat. Daubing paint on walls as far as I got.
Well, you never know what you can do till you try.
Yeah, reckon you're right. Twixt mud sculpting, rock chiseling, churn painting, and wall daubing, we'll fill our share of this art gallery.
Just don't know how the city of Beverly Hills can ever show its appreciation.
Well, the use of one's name on a building of this sort would be a great honor.
Excellent idea. We'll call it the Clampett Art Center.
Mr. Abel, that's not exactly what I had in mind. You see, the Clampetts are moving away from Beverly Hills.
Oh, my, we'll be sorry to lose such generous, civic-minded patrons of the arts.
Yes. However, picking a name more or less at random, how about the Margaret Drysdale Art Center? It's settled then.
What would you think of shortening the name to just Drysdale Art Center?
Oh, no. That would give my husband the credit. Milburn doesn't even know about this. In fact, he isn't even in town. At this very moment, he's on his way to Palm Springs.
Mr. Drysdale, I really don't think we should stop here. You're not strong enough.
It's all right, Fredericks. Open the door. I'll rest better if I know that all is well with the Clampetts.
But, sir, you're a very sick man.
I know.
Let me talk to the Clampetts. I'll explain that you're ill, sir.
No, don't do that. Granny will want to doctor me. In my condition, I'd never survive.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. I thought for a minute your wife had come back.
My wife's been here?
Yeah, this young fella fetched her over this morning. She's got us all painting and sculpting to beat the band.
Painting and sculpting?
Yeah, come on in and look. The whole family is shank deep in art.
Mr. Drysdale, you really shouldn't. Not in your condition.
No, I'm feeling better.
Granny has got a whole big platter full of cold cuts in the icebox. We can have us jellied pig's feet, owl giblets, sliced groundhog and possum, and plenty of cold pot liquor.
I think we'd better get to Palm Springs. Right, Frederick?
Yes, sir. Immediately.
Well, ain't you even got time for a glass of cold goat's milk or some turnip juice?
We have to hurry.
Well, that seems a shame. How about taking a little snack for the road?
No!
Man, you got some fine gopher sausages?
Drive on, Frederick. I'll be back in a week. Make that 2 weeks.
By then, your wife will have this place turned into a first-class art gallery.
Fine, fine.
Bye.
Art gallery!
if you don't look like one yourself.
Where's Granny?
Busy turning out daisies. You better get scrubbed up before she sees you.
Well, I ain't done sculpting yet, Paul.
Well, when you are, go jump in the cement pond, clothes and all, and then run till you... Is that Jethro?
Well, it must be. What's that he's got on the truck?
That boy went out to find himself a rock, and dogged if I don't think he's found one.
Is that a rock or is that a rock?
It's a rock. How'd you get it on the truck?
Just backed the truck up to the hill and rolled it down.
What you gonna do with that big thing?
I am going to chisel me out a masterpiece.
How can you be sure it's gonna be one?
A great artist has got to suffer before he can create a masterpiece. When that rascal rolled over my foot, I commenced putting me in some suffering time. Throbs.
What you doing, Granny?
Painting daisies.
On the ceiling?
I painted them on everything else I could find. But this painting on the ceiling is the most miserable work I ever took on. No wonder that Michelangelo give it up for chiseling statues. Drips on your face, runs down your arms, is plumb awful.
Well, I must say that your ceiling daisies don't come up to the standard of your... It does drip, don't it?
If I don't find something else better to paint on, I'm going to give it up.
Well, maybe Jethro knows what them other artists uses to paint on that Dick Van Dyke and that bunch.
Jethro's back, is he?
Yeah, he's found himself a sculpting rock. He's out front trying to wrestle it off the truck.
Well, when he comes back...
He made it.
What was that? It knocked 3 of my statues off the bench.
That was Jethro unloading his sculpting rock. What's that, Ellie?
Well, this here's a possum, Granny.
How do you think he'd look with a couple of big yellow daisies on him?
Daisies?
Stand back. I'll show you.
Ain't this a doozy, Uncle Jed? I'm going to chisel me out a masterpiece and a half.
Did you hurt your foot again?
No, sir. I'm getting real smart on handling these big rocks.
Well, where you aim to do your chiseling?
Out back by the cement pond.
How do you aim to get the rock back there?
Should have left it on the truck, shouldn't I? I'll just have to chalk it up to more suffering.
What is all this about suffering?
All the great artists does it, Uncle Jed. Mostly they lives in attics and stars. And their paintings get mean-mouthed something awful. Till after they's dead.
I reckon I never starved enough to be a good painter.
Well, there's a quick way to suffer. Just do what old Vince Van Gogh done. Whack off an ear.
Whack off a ear?
Well, yes, sir. That's what you call instant suffering.
I believe starving's got that beat.
Well, I think there was more to it than just suffering. You see, after he whacked off his ear, he sent it over to his sweetheart.
What for?
I reckon she admired it.
This Van Gogh fella, was he a good painter?
Yes, sir. One of the greatest that ever lived.
Well, why didn't he just paint a picture of his ear and send that?
Maybe he was too poor to buy canvas.
Is that what the regular artists paint on?
Yes, sir. Mostly it's that.
Well, go fetch Granny some.
Well, I ain't just sure where you get it.
Ask Miss Jane. She'll help you.
Well, yes, sir. Oh, while I'm gone, would you like to throw my rock around by the cement pond?
No, thanks.
It'd be a dandy way to suffer.
I believe I'll pass it up.
If Ellie'd like to suffer...
Forget it, boy. Granny, look what Miss Jane fetched over for us to paint on.
Praise be.
Jethro stopped by the office and told me of your plight. My, you are desperate.
Granny does turn out a nice daisy, though.
Yeah, yes, they're quite quite impressionistic.
They's my specialty. But I'm getting awful sick of painting them.
Well, why don't you try painting some other flowers?
I might just do that.
I'm so delighted by your sudden new interest in art. Jethro tells me his ambition is sculpture.
Him and Ellie, too, but he's going at it the hard way.
Like to kill himself getting that rock around back.
If suffering can do it, that boy's gonna be a humdinger.
Mr. Bodine,
Yes, ma'am?
do you mind if I take a break?
Oh, heck no.
I've been holding this pose an awfully long time.
Go ahead.
May I ask you a question?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Have you ever done sculpting before?
Oh, no, ma'am. This here will be my first masterpiece.
Well, why did you pick me to pose for you? I'm the most expensive model in the agency.
You was the prettiest.
Thank you. How long do you think you're going to need me?
Till I'm done with the statue.
Oh, here come some visitors. I'd better resume my pose.
Okie doke.
Greetings, Jethro.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
You're sure going through that rock like 60?
Thank you.
Where'd you get the beautiful model?
Model agency? She gets $50 an hour. Now I know why so many of them artists was poor all the time.
At that price, I'm glad Ellie is sculpting critters.
She thinks she made such an all-fired good possum. Wait till she sees the one that I'll make.
Wait a minute, boy. You are sculpting a possum?
It's gonna make Ellie's look sick.
What's she doing?
She's posing.
What for?
Uncle Jed, you can't be a real artist without you got a beautiful model posing for you.
There you are, ma'am. Just peel off whatever you got coming and thank you kindly.
Mr. Engel, did you have in mind a plaque of about this size?
Now, before we go into that, hadn't we better get Mr. Clampett's signature on this grant deed?
Well, howdy there, Miss Drysdale.
Mr. Clampett, I'd like you to know Mr. George Engel, the chairman of our Fine Arts Commission.
Well, I'm proud to meet you.
My pleasure, Mr. Clampett.
Miss Drysdale, I'm afraid we only got one room filled so far.
Filled with what?
Masterpieces, art treasures, and such.
Oh, thrilling! May we see them?
Yes, ma'am. Step right in.
Oh.
Ready? First visitor to the art gallery's here.
Howdy, Miss Drysdale.
Granny, this here is Mr. Engel. He's a high muckety-muck when it comes to art. This here is my daughter, Ellie Mae. Ellie, show Mr. Engel your mud sculpting.
Yes, sir, Pop.
These are the flowers I painted, Miss Drysdale. These are my daisies. These are my sunflowers. And these is lilacs. Oh, no, they're nasturtium. Oh, I forgot my hollyhocks. I'll be right back.
This is a possum, that's a pussycat, that's a hound dog, and yonder's a fox.
By the way, Ellie, what's this?
Oh, that's you, Paul.
Me?
I've run out of critters.
Mr. Engel, this rock sculpting here was done by my nephew, Jethro. He's so proud of it, he's out looking for another rock. There he is. Jethro, you unloaded your rock out front again.
No, I didn't. It slipped the ropes and rolled off the truck. Whose car is that out front?
Mine.
Are you by any chance an artist?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am. Why?
Well, if you ain't done your suffering for today, just step out and take a look at your car.
But now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. You all come back now. Here?
This has been a Filmways presentation.